Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda ben Shomer, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something the Nigerians call the Mamba Spirit. What is the Mamba Spirit? Let me start by reading to you 1 Timothy 6:10, which says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and have pierced themselves through with many sorrows." There's an old proverb in Nigeria that says, "You can tell that a Nigerian man is dead if you can wave a naira," which is the Nigerian currency, "under his nose and he doesn't wake up. Then you know he's truly dead." This testifies to the fact that money has a huge hold on Nigeria. Nigeria is an African country that is wrought with corruption due to wealth, because there are many oil fields out there. There's a lot of natural resources in Nigeria that others are trying to exploit, while at the same time keeping away from the Nigerians. There's crooked leaders and politicians out there that are just lining their pockets with the people's money. Money in Nigeria can buy a chieftaincy title, can buy political seats, can buy power, can buy influence. Money is coveted and sought after so much that if you have money, you're thought to be wise, because hey, you've got to be wise to be able to know how to obtain that much money. You're considered a somebody. You're sought out to sit on boards and to be sought after for advice. You're considered a pillar in the community. So money is very, very sought after and coveted in Nigeria. And it's not just in Nigeria. You think about the Western world. I mean, everybody is out for the almighty dollar. I mean, that's what half of the music industry's songs are about, is money. That's about what these game shows are about, and a lot of actors and actresses are about. This is what the corporations, commercialization, that's what it's all about, the almighty dollar. All about earning a buck. 1 Timothy 6:10, once again, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." Now, this verse has been misquoted more so than I believe any other verse in the Bible. People say, money is the root of all evil. Wrong answer. No, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is just paper. It's just coinage. It's an inanimate object that is neutral. It's neither good nor evil. It's what the human being does with that money, which makes it good or evil. It's how we as human beings use the money. So the love of money is the root of all evil. So where does the root of evil lie? Not in the money, but in the person itself that's going to use that money. Because you can use money to fund an orphanage, or you could use money to buy a prostitute. One is good, one is evil. One is a good use of money, one is a improper use, a perverted use of money. And so it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. We need to look at money the way money is intended to be looked at. We need to look at it not as something to be prized and possessed and cherished and set up like an idol, but we need to look at money as a tool. A tool for what? Money. The Bible even says that money talks, that money speaks. And it speaks because that's what this world operates on. It's a necessary evil for us to keep alive and going in this world, to get the necessities of life in some instances. But yet the money is nothing but a tool. It's a tool that can help us build up our lives or destroy our lives. Build up the kingdom of Hashem or destroy the kingdom of Hashem. So this money and the lust and the greed and the pride and the desire for power and authority and reputation that comes along with the possession of money, the Nigerians call the Mamba Spirit, named after the Mamba snake. Why? Because the characteristics of a snake. Because, a snake strikes fast. And if you come into money fast, or you come into possession of money fast, you can be struck very quickly with this desire for power. Wow, I can be a somebody. Wow, I can have reputation. Wow, I can be considered wise. Wow, I can do this, I can do that, I can get this, I can get that. And, that venom of lust and greed and pride just acts quickly, and it's deadly because it can destroy your life. So, sad to say, many people believe that money can buy happiness. It can't. This is a flaw of logic. One, people think that if one has money, they can buy the necessities of life and even the luxuries of life, and therefore they'll be happy. But money can't buy happiness or true power or true authority. The best that money can do is give you this sugar type rush of euphoric false happiness. It's more of a giddy novelty, like a kid opening a Christmas present, if you will. By next Christmas, that giddy euphoria of whatever toy he received the Christmas before has just totally worn off. It's an old toy now. It's something to be tossed away. So money can't buy happiness. It just can maybe give you that euphoric sugar rush high of, oh wow, this is new, this is fresh, this is novel, but it wears off quickly. And it can't buy power and authority. Power and authority, true power and authority, only come from Hashem. Romans 13:1-8 says, "Let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained by God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. But the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then be not afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he that beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon those that does evil. Wherefore, you must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, customs to whom customs, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth one another hath fulfilled the Torah. Because love is the basis and the foundation of even attempting to obey and follow Torah. Again, 1 Timothy 6:10, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which some covet after. They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." They covet after and have erred from the faith. See, if you have a lot of money, you'll start putting your faith and your trust and your reliance more so in money than in God to provide and meet your needs. And you will be pierced through with many sorrows. Why? Because with money and possessions come much worry and responsibility. If I don't have a cell phone, I don't have to worry about a cell phone bill. If I don't have a megabuck sports car sitting in my driveway, I don't have to worry about theft. If I don't have designer tennis shoes or bling bling hanging around, I don't have to worry about getting mugged or murdered so somebody else can have these items. You see what I'm saying? If I don't have a big flashy car, I don't have a big insurance bill to worry about. If I don't have a mansion, I don't have a big mortgage to worry about. See? With possessions and with money and with wealth comes responsibility, comes worry. You'll be pierced through with many sorrows. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being rich or nothing wrong with having possessions, as long as you do not let those possessions have possession of you. As long as you rule over your possessions and wealth and not let the wealth and possessions rule over you. Because, what does it say? It says that no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Matthew 6:24. So let's go by what Messiah's Talmudim taught us in regards to wealth, in regards to want and being content and happy. Philippians 4:11. "Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatever state I am in, therewith to be content." 1 Timothy 6:8. "And having food and raiment, food and clothes, let us therefore be content." Hebrews 13:5a. "Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have." So if you have food and clothes, be happy. Be content. Have you noticed that lodging, food, clothing, and shelter and lodging were not mentioned? Why? Maybe perhaps of what Yeshua himself said in Matthew 8:20. "And Yeshua saith unto them, The foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." You know what? You can find shelter under a tree, a cave, a rock, at a friend's house, whatever. But it's not so easy to obtain food and clothing. If you have food and clothing, therewith be content. And this is what Yeshua HaMashiach himself told us in regards to wealth. He said in Matthew 6:19 through 21, "Lay not up for yourself treasure upon the earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt." See, you'll be pierced through with many sorrows. Oh no, I'm going to worry about getting in an accident and losing my car. I'm going to have to worry about my technology, my computer, my cell phone breaking down. About making these payments and these bills on these ridiculous cell phone bills and on my insurance and on my house payment, my mortgage, what have you. Lay not up for yourself in heaven, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves can break in and steal. But lay up for yourself treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So, like I said before, let me remind you, monetary wealth and possessions in and of themselves are neutral, inanimate, and neither good nor evil. The evil comes when such things become our masters and gods and influence our actions, just like I quoted to you Matthew 6:24 before. You can't serve God in money. Now, most of us are not monetarily rich because very few of us can handle the responsibility and pressure of being wealthy. Many of us, if we were rich, would rely less and less on Hashem and more on our wealth. Matthew 13:23. The one who receives the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life, mortgages, bills, payments, thieves, rust, corruption, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth. Ooh, wealth can bring me happiness. The deceitfulness of wealth choke it and make it unfruitful. Look, not even the wisest king in Israel, who ever lived, Solomon, couldn't handle the pressure of being wealthy without giving in to multiplying his wealth, wife, and possessions, which the Torah clearly prohibits a king to do. Deuteronomy 17:16 through 17. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. Now, if the great Solomon couldn't rightly manage his wealth without, as Paul said, having erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, what makes us so arrogant to think that we could? Now, I can tell you real-life story after real-life story of either people coming into money through inheritance or winning the lottery. At the end of it, they find themselves broke and penniless and in a worse state than they were before the money, and they curse the day that money ever came into their life. Why? Because like the prodigal son, you have money, people want to ride that gravy train. People will be your friends because they want wealth, they want money, they want what you have. But as soon as the coffers run dry, your so-called family and friends are gone. They're nowhere to be found. And that's what happened to the prodigal son in Luke chapter 17, I believe it is. So, Mark 8:36. For what does it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world but lose his own soul? Proverbs 15:6 and 16. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. Better is with a little fear of the Lord than great treasures and trouble therewith. To conquer and not be influenced by this Mamba Spirit, we must see money and wealth for what it is, not as a way of bettering ourselves or our lives, but as a tool to kun olam, to fix the world, to repair the world, and to build up the kingdom of Hashem. As Rav Shaul said in Romans 13:8, owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loves one another has fulfilled the Torah. Thanks for watching.